Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Mr. Higginbotham, members of the York County School Board, Dr. Shadnor, cabinet members, school division staff, YRA faculty, family and friends, and seniors. Welcome to the commencement exercises of the York River Academy class of 2021. Good evening, my name is Gabriel Smart, a graduating senior of the class of 2021. On behalf of the senior class, I want to thank you all for coming to celebrate this special occasion with us. And we want to particularly thank our families for all the support and care that you have given to us. Please allow me to direct your attention to the brief message in the front of our program. We value highly the hard work, commitment, and accomplishments of our graduating seniors and of their families. And we do want to celebrate those accomplishments. We also want to treat the graduates with a ceremony and proper respect, so I will ask that our celebrations are not too demonstrative and fit the dignity of our time together. It gives me the great pleasure to introduce you to the chairperson of the York County School Board, Mr. Brett Higginbotham, along with the members, Mr. Schaefer, District 1, Mr. Geralds, District 3, and Mr. Myatt, District 5. All the members of the board have shown great service to the community as they have helped to chart the courses for the York County schools, particularly in the past few unusual months. We also thank the board for its ongoing great support for York River Academy and all that means to our community. And now, Mr. Higginbotham.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. Congratulations, class of 2021. Years of hard work, dedication, and Googling have finally paid off. Every graduating class has a story to tell, and you, class of 2021, have one heck of a story. I'm in no way saying that you're going to look back at this moment a decade from now and think how great this time was, but you will realize how this time helped make you great. But we can also be honest. How many of you are tired of hearing phrases like unprecedented times, perseverance, be flexible, everyone needs a little bit of grace, or just go check your Canvas module, instructions and due dates are right there. Years from now, your children, nieces, nephews, anybody will see a picture and look at you and ask, why is everyone wearing masks? You'll take a slow, deep breath and say, sit down, boy, do I have a story to tell you. Your mindset and your point of view will color the story that you decide to tell. Will you talk about all the things that changed and made life more difficult? All the incredible plans that you had that were instantly dashed? Will you rattle off a list of things that you missed out on? Or will you tell a story about how you overcame adversity, figured out how to be successful, and changed your outlook on what's really important to become a better version of yourself? Typically, graduation remarks are motivational in nature and reflect on the experiences you've gone through over the years. Because this school year started virtually, you were forced to create connections through a small camera on a computer. It's difficult to forge bonds over shared experiences when you're attending class in your pajamas from your bedroom. But to meet this challenge, you relied on friends, peers, teachers, counselor, administrator, siblings, parents, and more to lift you up in new ways to grow, learn, and find success. And you figured out not how to just show growth, but you managed to excel while you were doing it. And it all started at the beginning of the year with just a few words from a smiling teacher or classmate on a tiny box on your computer screen. Sometimes, if that camera was turned off, all you had were those words. And words can be powerful. There are two moments in my life that, for whatever reason, the words that I heard just stuck in my brain, and I have never forgotten them. They weren't big life-changing moments. They were small events that made a huge impact in my life. The first was when I was in 5th or 6th grade, and it was the first year that I played tackle football. And at that time, I was not the physical specimen that you see up here. I was probably the shortest and smallest kid on my team, but I didn't either notice or I just didn't care. In practice one day, I was just completely run over by a teammate. I lined up to tackle him just like I had been taught, and the next thing I remember, I was lying on the ground staring straight up at the sky. I didn't move, I just stayed there, lying on the ground. My coach, whom I can't even remember his name at this time, came over, looked down at me, and asked if I was hurt. I said no, but I just continued to lie on the ground. He stared at me, waited a few seconds, and said 3 simple words that have stuck with me forever. Then get up. Another time I was talking with my dad when I was in high school. I don't remember what we were talking about particularly, but it had something to do with something that I was unhappy about or I was disappointed in. But I will always remember what he said to me. And I'm sure he's not the one who came up with these words, but he looked at me and he said, "Son, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up." And that's what has happened to you. It's not about what has happened to you, it's about how you respond to what has happened. Will you give up, gripe, and complain, or will you get back up and overcome? And over the last 12 months, really 16, that's what you've done. You were knocked down repeatedly by technological problems, quarantines, new learning systems, programs, constantly changing schedules. But you always got back up. You didn't let situations beyond your control dictate if you would be successful or not. There might have been times you wanted to give up. We all experience those moments. But you being here right now proves that you are stronger than any circumstance you may find yourself in. So no matter what you do in the days, weeks, years after graduation, do it with the same relentless passion and work ethic you used to get yourself here today. And remember, the few simple words you may say to someone else may be exactly what they need to hear at that time, and they will carry with them forever. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Dr. Victor Shadnor was appointed as superintendent of the York County School Division in August 2014. He has 27 years of public education experience as a teacher, principal, and district administrator. Shadnor, a 1992 graduate of California University in Pennsylvania, began his career in education as a teaching assistant. He then earned a master's degree in exceptional education from Old Dominion University and ultimately a doctorate in educational leadership for Wingate University. Dr. Shadnor grew up in Pittsburgh, and he and his wife, Melissa, have 3 children. Dr. Shadnor.
Thank you, Gabriel. Good evening and congratulations, York River Academy class of 2021. I'd also like to welcome and thank our teachers, parents, and families celebrating with us today. Let's give our graduates a big round of applause. I'm not going to recap this past year or take a lot of time up here as everyone is waiting to see you walk across the stage and not listen to me. So let's go. Graduates, you've reached a major milestone in your life, and I'm honored to share this accomplishment with you. Every year as I prepare for the end of school and graduation, I begin to reflect on the happenings of the school year. But ironically, it also reminds me of how much older I'm getting. For example, 2021 marks my 33rd year since I graduated from high school. Yes, that's a long time ago. Anyone else from 1998 in the building? I even feel older, thank you. Like you, on this day, I was full of hopes and dreams and the amazing things that I planned to do with my life. There was no doubt in my mind on that day that I was going to be a professional athlete, followed by a long career as an ESPN reporter. This is the last place on earth that I thought I would be. Why do I share this with you? It's that awful word, doubt. Why do we doubt ourselves? Why is there a voice in our head that says, I can't pass this test, I can't make that team, I can't get into that school, or I'll never get that job, or I can't do this, or I can't do that? Writer extraordinaire Susie Kasem tells us, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. I'll say that again. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So here's what I'll tell you. You can do this. You got this. Why? Because you're surrounded by a room full of people who believe in you. Teachers, staff, your parents, family, and friends all believe in you. And I can't let this moment pass without acknowledging your principal, Mr. Cross, who's given his heart and soul to this school and the students and teacher he served. Let's give Mr. Cross a big round of applause. Congratulations again, Mr. Cross. So I'll end on this. Soon to be retired Duke basketball coach Mike Szyszewski has won 5 national championships and coached 3 Olympic gold medal teams. He shared how these 4 words are not said nearly enough. I believe in you. The people who believed in me gave me confidence to pursue broadcasting as a career. And when my path shifted to a career in teaching, they took that step with me as well, which is how I ended up here today. So remember, when that voice in your head starts telling you, I can't, remember this day in this room of people who believe that you can. Congratulations, class of 2021, and good luck. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I promise this speech will not be political, but I was looking for a quote to inspire my words today and came across this pithy statement by a former president, best known for his thoughts on fear. Franklin Roosevelt said, "Be sincere, be brief, be seated." Words to live by. My task each year is to give you just enough time to focus on me to segue from the last speaker to the next portion of the program, and that is all I aim to do. It will be my privilege to introduce the speakers you have been waiting to hear. Having been sincere and brief, I will be seated after 7 more words. I give you the class of 2021.
I went to York River Academy for one of the most common reasons I hear, and it was really to improve my grades. Academically, mentally, and socially, I had been struggling. 8th grade had been tough to me, to the point where I almost had to get held back. So in hopes of what freshman me would call easy grades, I decided to attend this school. Now I came here thinking not of my future, but what I had there and then. I lived and acted as if I only mattered and that my future wasn't important. My behavior was reckless and selfish, and I didn't want to think ahead of myself because it scared me. Growing up, maturing was scary to me. I always thought I was going to be alone and unsuccessful, but as I progressed through high school, I had gone through so much, both good and bad. I have made new relationships and lost some. I have both succeeded and failed, and I cannot necessarily say some of it wasn't my own fault. However, all of these experiences helped shape me into the person who I am today, alongside the help of my teachers and friends that guided me on my way. But the one who has pushed me the hardest and I am most grateful to is my mom. She has been the biggest impact on my life, and when I was so unmotivated to do anything, she'd be the one to support me and help me get back on track. When I was having a hard time with my friends or overall my mental health, she was there for me. She's my best friend, my best teacher, and the best mom I could ever ask for. These past 4 years have molded me into who I am now, and I look forward to the future. I have more passion and drive to succeed, and I have strong relationships I've built with my friends. I can't wait to see what I have in my future.
I would like to start off by saying it is a pleasure to be standing here in front of all y'all today. I've never thought this day would come, but it wouldn't have been possible without the support from my teachers and most of all my parents. Y'all have had so much faith and believed in me when I was down and always picked me back up. You gave me so much hope that this day would come, and it's such a blessing to be here standing on the stage in front of all the people that I hold close to my heart. I cannot express how much y'all have helped me through my battles and my challenges that I have been through in the past 13 years that I've been in school, especially these past 4 of high school. I've had the greatest honor to attend this wonderful school that has helped me open my eyes to better my future. Thank y'all so much.
My experience with York River has been nothing if not interesting. What started out as a school that I wanted to go to because it didn't have homework turned into a school that I wanted to go to because I could find people that made learning just a little bit easier. In that school, I also found people that for the first time in a long while I could call friends. People that I'd take a bullet for. People who inspired me to quite literally reach for the stars, and people that have forever changed my life. I wouldn't be here today without them, and I'm not going to name them because they know exactly who they are and why I'm eternally grateful to them. So thank you, Mom, for putting up with me for 17 years, and all the rest of you for an amazing 4 years.
The main thing I'd like to say is thank you to all my friends and family. When I first came to YRA, I was a very shy, introverted person, just weird to know. Over the course of my 4 years here, I was able to find a close group of friends and family who helped me open up and become who I want to be in this world. After all, life comes at you fast, and you never know what it will throw at you. And having a good, close group of friends and family to help support me through that is what helped me get through this. And all that anyone really wants in this world is to be happy. And for me, it's when I'm around my close friends and my family. So to all of them, you know who you are, and thank you. I truly could not have done this without you.
So here's the end of high school. Well, all of school, I should say. High school is probably my favorite of my school years. My years at YRA helped me grow as a person. When I first started freshman year, I was probably the quiet kid until I got to know you. But besides that, it really changed me as a person to who I am today. With the support from here, everyone here, teachers, staff, I got through it all and made it to this day. I want to give a special thank you to a wonderful lady. Mom, I love you. Thank you for all that you have done for me, helping me grow as a person. You have put in many, many fights, but you always stood your ground. You knew what was right, and you helped me get to that point. To all my teachers and administrators who have always been by my side, thank you. We got Mrs. Collier, a wonderful, fun, entertaining math teacher. She will show you the right way to do math. Don't mention PEMDAS. You'll thank me later for it. I always put trust in her because she always got my back when I had to get math credits. Second, Mr. Tremblay, thank you for teaching me about the history of almost everything known to mankind. I'd have to say Virginia U.S. History was my favorite class and probably the only class I did homework in out of all the history classes I've taken in high school. Next, Miss Warwick, sophomore year, I did the greenhouse project with her, and that was fun. A good experience to learn about plants and nature. Thank you for teaching me about the earth and rocks and many more. To Mr. Lorio, English was always a struggle for me, I guess. Shakespeare and I never clicked. But thank you for giving me a class to look forward to that I knew I would learn something new by the end of the day. And I can't forget Mr. Carpenter, Miss Wheeler, and Mr. Asino for teaching me many, many things whenever it's financial stuff, Photoshop, PowerPoint, or cybersecurity. Then there's Mr. Kofer and Mr. Ritter. To be honest, those two guys, along with Mr. Krause and my mother, are the reason I'm standing here today. They always push me to my limits, to keep going no matter what, to not give up. Those people can make you mad, especially Mr. Ritter and Mr. Kofer, but it's really hard to stay mad at them at the end of the day. And to all my classmates and peers, thank you for giving me years of memories that I won't forget. Best of luck to everyone.
Okay, so I would like to focus on the years to come. So with that, I would like to quote a movie series that was deeply enriched in my childhood, Lord of the Rings. It was spoken by the wise wizard Gandalf. The world is not in your books and maps, it's out there. I encourage everyone here to remember that and see those adventures and leap towards them without fear. Thank you.
All right. It's been a few years of both wonder and stress in this school, mostly stress. But I still enjoyed coming here and meeting all my friends and all my teachers and getting to know most of them pretty well. One in particular who I usually tend to donate some of my skills to, I can't see her, Miss Collier over there. I draw for her classes every year. I missed 11th grade, sorry about that. And I want to thank every single person that I have come to know, teachers, family, friends, especially my siblings. Gosh, that's all I can really think of right now. It's been so wonderful coming here. It's a little stressful right now. But I want to wish luck to everybody that I've come to know in my class, especially Alyssa, because I've known her since middle school, and it wouldn't be the same had I not met her or met a lot of people who I have throughout these years. You've all been wonderful. Thank you.
4 years ago, I had completed middle school. I was bullied, toyed with, and all around just a target for everyone. My grades sunk, and it looked like I was dropping out. Then I came here. It's 4 years later, and I'm doing better academically than I ever have in my life. Of course, I've had help from my parents. Without them, I doubt I would have even passed the 6th grade. I didn't always love school, and sure, I didn't always get along with everyone. But the friends I made here have made me want to stay. And though this is cliche, I mean it when I say, if I got a do-over, I don't think I would ever change anything. I look forward to making new friends, meeting new people, and living greater experiences from here on out. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Mom, Dad, my little sister, and thank you to all my amazing friends I've met here. You have all become a part of my family, and I couldn't ask for a better one.
People of York River Academy, thank you so much for being here. You know, before I went to this school, I did not know if I wanted to be here or not, because I would not be able to see the friends that I made back at my old high school anymore. But after a few years at YRA, I think I made the most of it. I got to learn so many cool things that will be useful in my life. Like stuff about business, stuff about economics/taxes, and so many other cool things. I also got to meet so many cool friends, eat some good food, have some good and bad laughs, and many other cool things I had fun doing. I really felt happy here. Now, I do not want to make this speech too short, which is why I want to thank all the people that have helped me past these last 3 years. I want to thank Mrs. Warwick for making science class fun and interesting for me, even though it was hard for me half the time. I also want to thank Mrs. Collier for making math fun and enjoyable to learn. Lastly, I want to thank everyone for making these past 3 years the best years of my life. Thank you all for listening.
It's great to finally be here. I've enjoyed the last 3 years here, can't lie, but I've hated this year, specifically. I'm glad to finally be here, but it hasn't been easy. Freshman year, by far, had the most impact on my life, thanks to people like Ashawn, Jordan, Gentry, Evan, Mike, Timmy, Steven. I especially have fond memories at lunch with Jordan, Gentry, Evan, and Mike, goofing around, swatting ping pong balls at each other. And this may sound weird, but also lots of conversations in the boys' bathroom. Not even lying when I say I've had some great conversations in that bathroom. We were allowed to be unfiltered in there, so that's why. I also want to thank Tristan, Justin, and Aaron for making my junior year better, and James and Jonathan for making this year better. To my favorite teachers, thank you, Ms. Collier, Mr. Ritter, Ms. Stoudinger, Mr. Lorio, and Mr. Carpenter. Ms. Collier, you were immediately my favorite teacher here for being so kind and understanding and for letting us joke around when we weren't working. There was hardly dull moments in your class. Mr. Ritter, you know I have to thank you a lot for all the advice that you've given me over the past 3 years. And you truly are a special person on this staff. I really appreciate every single conversation we've ever had. Ms. Stoudinger, where are you? I have to thank you for helping me with my work since 10th grade a lot. You've always pushed to help me every time I was failing a quarter. I don't have much to say about Mr. Lorio and Mr. Carpenter, but y'all were always laid back and willing to go in depth about questions that I had. I will always appreciate that. And lastly, thanks to my parents for providing for me, and even though they weren't sure I was going to graduate this year, I have to thank you for all the gas money, all the real money, all of that you've helped sustain me until now. And this has been an okay year.
So I half expected this thing to be caught in the fax machine or something, but we did it, so we're here. And I'd like to thank my mom and stepdad, all my family, for putting up with me and not, I forgot the word, but I'd just like to thank them all for putting up with me. I'd like to thank my classmates who also put up with me a lot. I'd like to thank all the teachers who helped me and tried to not scream at me or something when and they also helped me grow and learn, and he helped me get through it, and it will not be mindlessly wasted. And I would also like to thank people like Mr. Ritter, Miss Collier, Miss Warwick, and Miss Wheeler for helping me a lot. Miss Wheeler especially for helping me figure out what taxes are. And yeah, thank you all.
That's still one of the best things we do, I think, having our seniors talk. Let me add my welcome to everyone. Mr. Higginbotham, thank you for your words. Thanks to you and other school board members for your support to York River Academy and all the students in YCSD, and for your hard work and service to this community. It's really special to know that you all have a firsthand knowledge of what we're doing in the schools and the encouragement that you provide and the extraordinary care and leadership that you've shown, particularly over the past several months. It's just been remarkable. We really thank you for that. I think we should probably give them a round of applause. Let's go. Dr. Shadnor, cabinet members, Dr. Carroll, Mr. Bowen, Dr. Vladu, Ms. Skinner. There's many others who are here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And I'd also like to welcome Ms. Holly Sheffield to the first of her very many York River Academy commencement exercises. Welcome. I'd like to recognize the staff at York River Academy. I usually say it's the best staff that I've ever worked with. So thank you for being the best staff I ever worked with. And thank you for all the way that you pour yourself into the lives of the students. Thank you. And finally, and probably most importantly, I want to thank you, parents and grandparents, family members, for the love and encouragement and support for our seniors, and for allowing us to partner with you in the education of your children. So would the parents and grandparents stand up so we can just recognize you, please? Thank you. One of the joys of being principal is getting to recognize students for achievements and accomplishments. At graduation, we honor one student, one senior, with the York River Academy medallion, and this medallion kind of characterizes all that we hope to accomplish at YRA. It's not necessarily given for the best GPA or anything else like that, but this young person has worked hard, has overcome difficulties, has remained really faithful and committed to accomplishing their goals and to caring for others. We're proud of and pleased for this year's recipient of the York River Academy medallion, which is here somewhere. So please join me in celebrating Mr. Dylan Zwicker. Well, good evening, class of 2021. You're looking good. You ready to receive your diplomas? Head out in the next part of your lives into your future. I really appreciate your speeches, for the thought and care you put into selecting the words, and for the courage it took to stand up in front of this audience and deliver them. It's really impressive. Very well done. And I promise I'll only keep you a few more minutes. My remarks are supposed to be sort of a reflection and charge to give you all a last bit of wisdom, hopefully, something to think about, maybe, but a recognition of your work and the care that we have for you, definitely. Have you ever played the what if game? You know, the one where you say if you could be any age, go back in time, or advance to another age, what would it be? Maybe you're too young to have played that game. But I guarantee you there's those of us here who have, and then you probably will. The other day somebody asked me that. They said, if you could go back to any age, what would it be? Now, by looking at me, you know I've got a little mileage on me. So what do you think I said? Maybe back in high school when I had dark hair? Maybe in college? Maybe my first job in education? Maybe my marriage? The birth of my kids? You know what I said? I said it's now. This very moment. Stay with me here for a second. Let me explain that. At that time, I was representing all of my past experiences. Good, bad, happy, sad, hopeful, painful. All of those things went into making me who I was at that very instant, and even now, today. Yet at the same time, all of my future is before me, to be unfolded, to be experienced and enjoyed to its fullest. That future, like your future, is based in large part on what has brought me to this point. The same with you. All the things that have gone over the past 15 months in terms of pandemic, lockdown, remote learning, dramatic changes in social interaction, as well as other things, both good and bad, have brought you to this point, to this very night, to this commencement ceremony. You have persevered. You've worked hard in varying degrees. You've been flexible, and you've accomplished your goals. We are all so proud of you and pleased for you. Your family has walked along with you these years, and you've acknowledged them in your speeches, which really touched their family. So thank you for that as well. Your teachers have encouraged you, cajoled you, nagged you, complimented you. And this is interesting, but the larger community members who have contributed in so many ways to your success, we celebrate you tonight. This community celebrates you tonight. And now, soon, you'll have your diploma in hand. You will have accomplished that once-in-a-lifetime achievement, graduation from high school. Only one time do you do that. You'll exit the building and the school into your future. The question arises, how will that future be framed? Here comes the charge of this part of the speech. A writer that I truly appreciate wrote, "Let no one look down on your youthfulness." It's like, yeah, of course. You can't look down on me because I'm young, right? You kind of get a little brash. But he goes on to say, but rather in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity, show yourself as an example. Ultimately, it comes down to this. You are not victims of circumstance, of the things that have happened before, or the things that you didn't get to do, or things you had to endure. They do not define you. In fact, those things have gone into the foundation on which you will continue to build. As you move forward from here, become examples through your speech, through your conduct, through your love, through your faith, and through your purity of men and women who have earned your place in this community. And no one will look down on your youthfulness, but celebrate with you. This is my charge to you, my encouragement, my blessing to you, to all of you. Thank you. Well, that's what you've been waiting for. So class of 2021, would you please stand for the presentation of diplomas? I'm going to ask Dr. Shadnor and the board members to join me. We polled the students. They are comfortable with shaking hands. So if you all are comfortable with that, we've all agreed to shake hands as they receive their diploma. Ms. Stoudinger?
Alyssa Maya Vitelho de Melo. Keaton Elihu Crotty. Riley James Curran. Eben Paul Fike. Matthew Scott Holland. Bethany Catherine Land. Carmen Nicole Pidio. Gabriel Charles Smart. Sean Aiden Smith. Bryce Matthew Wimmer. Dylan Nicholas Zwicker.
Well done. Once again, thank you for everybody for being here. This is a real special time for all of us. So, seniors, I think there's one last thing we need to do. So if I could get you to stand for the, for the last time. Could I get you to stand, please? So this is for the last time. By the authority vested in me by the State Board of Education and by York County School Board, I hereby declare you graduates of York River Academy. Please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2021 from York River Academy.